Hello. All right, this is Love Clinic, Love and Family with Tope Abiara. You're joining us, welcome. Please help me to share the video. Please share the video. All right. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, welcome, welcome. Please help us to share the video, please. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're talking this evening on emotional cheating. Emotional cheating. It's been a long time that I've done a Facebook Live video, even though there's been a lot of requests for it. But well, let's just say thank God. It's good to be here once again. How are we all doing? Social distancing, lockdown. Maybe you have a lockdown in your area. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I pray that this is sincerely, and if to whoever may have lost somebody due to this virus, my sincere condolences, sincerely, and I pray for comfort for you. Whoever is sick also, maybe any other sickness or if the virus itself, I pray for strength. I pray for quick recovery for you. May you pull through. May you pull through. Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. All right. We're getting started. Let me introduce myself. Let me start by introducing myself. And you can always say hi. You can always wave. It's good to have you here. So, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Tope Abiara. I'm a marriage and family counselor by profession. I'm a relationship expert. I've got master's degree in the field. I've been doing this for, more than 16 years. More than 16 years. Married to a wonderful man, by the grace of God. I've been married for going to 14 years now. So I bless God for that. We're blessed with beautiful children. So please do remember to share. Please share this. And thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. You can always wave. I'm waving to see that you're here. All right. So emotional cheating. We're talking today about emotional cheating. We're on a lockdown. We're on a social distancing. And husbands are home. They are at home with their wives. Married couples are together. But are we really together? Are we really emotionally connected? Or is there an emotional distance? Are we really together in the house? Are we okay, your presence is here physically, but are you emotionally here with me? And please do remember that I love to read comment from you. I love to read questions. If you have, at any point in time, you have questions or you have something to say, please. So emotional cheating is when a person invests more of their emotional energy outside of the marriage. Your emotional energy, you're putting in more friendship outside of your marriage, relationship outside of your marriage. And so even when you need emotional support and companionship, you seek for it from the other relationship, not from your spouse. You know, you seek for the emotional support and companionship from the relationship that is outside your marriage. That's the emotional cheating. That's the emotional cheating. And this is my question. I have a question. Can emotional cheating be applied to a friendship that is of the same gender? Can an emotional cheating, can it be applied to a same gender relationship, a same gender friendship? Can we say that you are applying more emotions to the friendship outside of your marriage, but it's with somebody, and it's not that you're like an homosexual, but basically like you put more into that friendship than you are maybe like your best friends as guys, or like your best friend as girls, as females. Is there stuff like that? So please, I would like to hear from you. But I want us to know something. Married does not exempt you from falling for somebody else. You know, don't ever feel like, oh, when I meet my husband, maybe you're not even married yet, or you're newlywed, and you're thinking to yourself that, okay, I'm secured for life. I can never fall in love with anybody else. I've got my own spouse. This is my bone of bone, my flesh of the flesh. This, like I'm not going to be, I'm okay. I'm secured. Being married does not exempt you from falling for somebody else. Keep that in mind, okay? So, if you are married, we're talking on emotional cheating, and please remember to share the video. So, if you are married and you have a best friend, now I'm saying something like more like opposite sex, and you have that person that you can't wait to talk to. That any little thing, that person is the first person that comes to your mind. And like you want to share your thoughts, and you're just so, always wanting to talk to that person, even though you got your spouse right next to you. You have your spouse that's always waiting for your phone call, your spouse that's waiting to hear from you with a chat. You understand? That you've got that. I'm sorry about that. So you've got your spouse, but you're so focused on that person that's not your spouse. So that's the emotional connection, the emotional cheating that we're talking about. So, and most of the times, this happens to somebody that's even responsible. Not necessarily that you are a cheater, that you're always looking for somebody to fall for. No, it happens unexpectedly. Like when you least expect it, you never thought it could happen. You guys were just friends. It's mainly a friendship that's evolving, developing into that. It's somebody that you saw like, like we're just friends. There's no big deal. We're just friends. So gradually you start getting closer, and in case I haven't seen any comments so far. I'm hoping that there's, like if somebody can just say hello. I know I got viewers, I can see that, but let me just see you say hello, so I can know when somebody comments that I'm getting comments. Please, so just say hello. That would be great. All right, so sometimes this person that we are in emotional cheating relationship with may not even be in close proximity. Maybe the person is not even living in the same city like we are. It may even be that you met over social media. Maybe you just like the way the person puts stuff on social media, and from there you guys started being friends, and before you know it, you're looking forward. Yes, Mr. Isaiah, welcome. Thank you. At least you let me know that, I can receive comment. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're welcome. Thank you for joining in. And please remember, Mrs. Sanuga, you're welcome. Happy birthday. I know today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for joining in. So it starts from regular talk. It starts from, then you start having more interest in the conversation with the person. And then you start paying more attention to the person. So how do you know? What are the symptoms of you, if you or your spouse are in that category already? What are the symptoms that you need to be on the lookout for? Maybe you're wondering, am I already in an emotional cheating relationship, affair with somebody? Thank you, sir. Pastor Tayo, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. I do appreciate you. Thank you for joining in, sir. So how do you know if you or your spouse, you're in that category already? All right? Miss Awureni, thank you, thank you. So please remember to share, So I cannot tell if the friendship that I have with this person is actually going towards the emotional affair territory. Now I'm talking about people that are in committed relationship, people that are married. You're developing feelings for somebody else, but you're overlooking it. You're thinking it's no big deal. And I asked a question earlier. I said, can this apply to a same gender relationship, a same gender friendship? Meanwhile, you're not homosexual, but can you be feeling this emotion? Thank you, Mr. Khalid. You said you've shared it. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. So I have a question that you have to ask yourself. Am I doing things or talking about things with this person that I don't do, that I don't talk with my spouse? The stuff that you're doing that could be, stuff that you're supposed to be telling your spouse, stuff that you're supposed to be sharing with your spouse, but you're sharing with this person. And it's another thing is, are you going to complicated lengths to arrange time with this person that you go out of your way? You see how there's the social distancing right now? There's this learning, the lockdown, but you're going out of your way to make time to see the person, even though it's not a convenient time. But you just can't wait to see this person. Thank you very much. Nice topic. I didn't miss me. Thank you, ma. I appreciate that. So, the symptoms. Number one, you're thinking about the person a lot. Your thoughts, most of the time, your thoughts are full of this person. Like even when you're waking up from the bed, you reach for your phone and you check, as this person texts me. Miss Ademola, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's from Texas, Midland, Texas. Thank you very much. You're thinking about that person and you're waking up and you pick up the phone and you're checking, has this person contacted me yet? That is a number one symptom, the number one. The number two, you cannot wait. You cannot wait. As soon as something is going on, you can't wait to tell that person. Instead of you reaching to tell your spouse, that person is the first person that comes to your mind to share this, whatever is going on with you with. Thank you, Ms. Ogbayemi. Thank you for sharing. And so you're always seeking the opportunity to talk to that person. Number three, and if you're doing this, all these symptoms that I'm saying, if you can say that you got three of them, then you are already cheating emotionally. All these symptoms that I'm saying, if it's a yes for at least three of them, then you are cheating emotionally. All right, number three, you're hiding your calls from your spouse. With this person, when you're talking to this person or when you're chatting with this person, you hide it because you are putting in too much time, more than is necessary, more than you're supposed to, and you now start to hide it from your spouse. When you talk to this person, you quickly delete off your phone that I didn't talk to that person. Like you're covering up. It's a cover up, So that's number three. Number four, your heart is not in the conversation with your spouse. When you and your spouse, you guys hardly have talks. But even when you now talk, your heart is not in it. Your heart is far away from being with your spouse. It's almost as if your spouse is invisible. You're both together, but your mind is not even there. You know, your heart is far away from home. That's number 4. Number 5, you will rather share your thoughts. I mentioned this before. You will rather share your thoughts, your problems with the person than your spouse. The person is you're always looking forward to talk to, rather than talking to your spouse. Number 6, you do have a sense of guilt. Somewhere deep in your heart, you know that I'm thinking too much about this person, but you're now downplaying it. You're downplaying it that, you know what, it's not cheating. We're not doing anything yet. It's just my friend. She's just my friend, and it's nothing. And so you're downplaying it. I think that's, what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was number 6. All right. And then number 7, you compare your spouse to the person. You compare anything that your spouse is doing in your brain, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, this person, anytime your spouse does something, you're thinking in your mind that what way would the other person do it? If your spouse does anything, it may not even be a big something. It may be something little wrong. You're thinking to yourself, that person would not do it like that. And most of the time when you're with that person, you're thinking, my spouse is nothing like this. This person is so good. I would love to be with this person every time. So it's a way there's an over exaggerated sense of that personality. You feel like that person is the best, and this person is just, and you'll not be thinking, maybe if I had met this person first, I would have married this person. By the time you get to that stage, you're going in too deep. All right? You always feel like the person understands you better than your spouse. All right? Number 7. Okay, yeah. When somebody draws your attention that you're getting too close, you downplay it. You say, no, we're not close. We're just friends. We just talk to each other. There's no big deal and all that. And when your spouse brings it up about that person, if you did not hide it completely from your spouse, and your spouse can sense it, and your spouse brings it up, you will get upset. You will get very upset. You will just turn things around and be like, no, why are you accusing me wrongly? What do you mean? We're just friends and all that. You will now come up with stuff that you're not supposed, like just into an argument. And even as you're watching this video, if that is the case with you, you're probably thinking of that person right now. If that is the case with you, if you're like emotionally cheating, that person is coming. The person's thought is coming to your mind right now. And for those of you that are wondering, maybe is my spouse doing this? All right, let me just say this. Does your spouse hide his or her phone? Does your spouse hide his or her phone? When a call comes in for your spouse, does your spouse hide the phone call and go around the corner to take the phone call? Does your spouse mention somebody's name a lot? Every time you're talking, there's a particular name that keeps coming up. Every time you're talking, there's a particular name that keeps coming up. Or maybe there's one person that your spouse does not even want to talk to you about. Then also, do you have a gut feeling? There's a feeling in you that something is going on, but you don't know how to place it. You're not able to. You feel like you trust your spouse, but at the same time, you kind of feel like something is going on. So that right there. I have to tell you this. Most people that are in emotional cheating, if it hasn't involved sexual yet. Okay, one of the stuff about the symptoms that I didn't say, I probably skip it, is there's an underlying sexual attraction. There's an underlying sexual attraction between the two of them. There's, like the thought of that person brings an arouser within you. The thought of that person brings an arouser within you. And you kind of distance yourself sexually from your spouse. You're not that interested in the sexual aspect with your spouse. But the thing is, if you end up having to have the sex with your spouse, you while having that with your spouse, the person is the image that is coming up in your mind. The person is the image that is coming up in your mind. Can you hear me good? Please let me know that you can hear me good, please. Let me know that you can hear me good. So even you're physically present, basically your sexual activities with your spouse will reduce. But by the time you decide to do that with your spouse, you're imagining the person. The person's thought is the one that will come up in your mind, though you're with your spouse. All right. So most people in emotional cheating, they feel like it's no big deal. Thank you very much, Ms. Obeyemi. Thank you for saying that you're hearing me clearly. I do appreciate your feedback. And please don't forget, if you have any contribution, any question, please let me know. Mrs. Ademola, thank you also. You said you can hear me very well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Noah, thank you so very much. I do appreciate that. Thank you. You said you can hear me. Thank you. I like feedback. You should know that. I like feedback. All right. So most people in emotional cheating, they feel like it's no big deal, most especially if it hasn't gotten to the level of sexual relationship involvement. Thank you, Pastor Stanley. I celebrate you, sir. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. So most people in emotional cheating, they feel like it's no big deal. They feel like they're not doing anything wrong. But really, it's a lie. According to study, most spouses would prefer for their spouse, as much as you don't want your spouse to cheat, but they prefer for their spouse to cheat on a one-night stand than an emotional cheating. Because when an emotional cheating relationship should occur, it basically involves your heart. It basically means that your heart is being drawn away. We are human beings. You can't love two people the same. The moment you're getting involved with somebody else emotionally, your emotional connection with your spouse, with your long-term relationship, committed relationship, it's been deducted. You're checking out of your marriage. You're checking out of your marriage. I say this all the time. Marriage requires conscious effort. Marriage requires conscious effort. When you check out of your marriage emotionally, you're no longer putting in effort. You're no longer putting in effort. So that marriage will not work. That marriage will not work. So now let's talk. What creates room for emotional cheating? How do people find themselves in that situation? How do they get there? Please, if you have anything to say, thank you, Ms. Ogbayemi. Thank you very much. If you have anything, your contribution towards this, please, I will read out your comment. I will. All right. So the stuff that do create, and this is for even us that our marriage are still good right now. By the grace of God, I pray that our marriage will continue to be good. But we got to be on the lookout. What creates the room for it, for emotional cheating? Number one, the lack of communication. The lack of communication. If you and your spouse don't make time to communicate, and whereby there's that room, there's a lack of communication, you're opening up the door for the emotional cheating to occur. You're opening up the door for the emotional cheating to occur. Another one is lack of time together. Lack of time together. Lack of time together. Yes, Mr. No, a lack of effective communication. Thank you very much. Lack of time together. When we are still courting, dating along the way, we tend to make time for each other. I want to see you, I've missed you, and all that. But when we get married, situations happen. Life. Sometimes it could be long distance. Maybe you're working in another state, and there's the long distance, and you're not getting to have enough time together. Maybe you only come home on the weekend. Maybe you come home twice in a month. Maybe you come home like once in a month, and maybe it's even once in 6 months. All this stuff, sincerely, human beings, you can't leave them alone for a long time. So the lack of time together, when you're spending too much time outside of your home, when your time is being taken more by outside factors, like even you finish work, you're supposed to come on home. No, you got to go by your friends, you got to go by your parents, you got to go by this place, and you're not making that enough time. Number 3, build up hurt. Unforgiveness. Unforgiveness takes away from the love that we have for each other. When you hurt your spouse and you don't clear that slate, women are very emotional. And if you hurt your spouse, especially your wife, and you did not say sorry, maybe from your ego, and you just feel like it's no big deal. You know what? She's not going anywhere. We're married already and all that. When all these things start piling up, the unforgiveness is right there and piling up, you're creating room for that emotional cheating. Because one day, somebody else will speak to that heart that you're hurting. Somebody else will speak to that heart. All right? Another one, I'm not sure how common this is, but I know it's still being done out there. I have couples that are doing this. Separate rooms. When you're sleeping separately, sleeping in different rooms. I don't know why people do that. I always tell people it's not advisable for you to sleep in different rooms. It's when the two of you are sleeping together on the same bed that you can actually, get closer. When you're sleeping in separate rooms, you're leaving room for whereby you can be chatting with other people, because, your spouse is not there. There's the freedom, too much freedom. Nobody's saying that you're in a bondage for being married, but still, there should be some kind of cap to it. There should be some type of boundary. But when you're sleeping in separate bedrooms, there's no boundary. There's nobody to tell you, okay, you've been on that phone for so long, in the most nicest and respectful manner, to say that to you. You understand? So the boundary is not there when you're sleeping when your rooms are separate, when your rooms are different. It also creates the room for that. All right? When you're not putting too much importance into making your marriage work, that is, you're married, like that attitude of we're married, we've been married, is no big deal. My wife is my wife. I'm too, I got too much going on. She's not a baby. He's not a baby. I can't be babying that man. He should understand I got so much going on. No. Don't leave your marriage like that, please. I beg you. Please. No matter what you may be going through, no matter how busy you may be, don't ever ignore your marriage. Put in the work. As much as you're putting in the effort into somebody else's relationship, being able to chat with somebody else, do that with your spouse. Do that with your spouse. All right? I got 2 more on the what creates the room for it. Stress. There's human being, when we are stressed, the first person we turn to, we don't want it to be our spouse. When we are stressed, our heart doesn't want to really, because we feel like our spouse doesn't really get it. It's just natural. And so we now feel like we should be able to, you look for somebody else to talk to when you're stressed. I know so many marriages that have been affected by this, that when they were going through, they sought for the comfort outside of their marriage. There was somebody else that was being available to talk to. And the moment you check out of that marriage, the moment you take your comfort zone to somebody else outside of your marriage, you're checking out. So. And finally, on that one is the boredom. Boredom. People get bored, people. You do the same thing over and over and over and over again. You go to work, you come back home, you make food and you eat and you go to sleep and you watch TV and boredom. You can't let your spouse be bored. Don't do that. It's both of you's responsibility. It's a responsibility on both of you to make sure that you're not bored in your marriage. Look for something to do. And even, go to a hotel for the weekend. It's an investment. Let your spouse be psyched up. Cook a different meal for your husband. Something different. Wear something different. Boredom kills. All right? Okay, thank you. I know I still have people with me. All right? Am I communicating? Are we learning? I know it takes me a little bit before I get your comment. But I do appreciate you being here. Please do remember to share. Please do remember to share. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Is it even... Thank you, Mrs. Ademola. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Emotional cheating for many is more hurtful than a physical affair. That is so true. That is very, very true. Emotional cheating, a physical affair may not involve your emotions. But the moment you are cheating emotionally, like I said earlier, thank you so very much. I see your comments. Thank you. The moment you cheat emotionally, you are checking out of your relationship. You're checking out of your marriage. And, it would just be a little thing. And when it will happen, you will now be like, what happened? How did it happen? I don't even know when it happened, So, the dangers of emotional cheating. Is that Miss Odunola Ajibala? Thank you, Ma. I see your comment. Thank you so very much. Thank you for joining in. Please do remember to share. Remember to share. All right, the dangers of emotional cheating. It's hard to retrieve back somebody that's gone in too deep. When you've gone in too deep into the relation, into the emotional cheating, it's hard to come back. The next thing is the sexual aspect. And the moment the sexual aspect is involved, that's it. You're gone. No coming back. I'm telling you the truth. No coming back. Because there's no emotional tie to your spouse that will draw you back. There's none. That has been cut off. So, most affairs that lead to divorce, when somebody is caught having an affair, and it's like the husband or the wife is trying to work it out, but the other person is not interested, they would rather go on with the person that they're having an affair with. That affair started with emotional cheating. That affair started with emotional cheating. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Mrs. Ogbeyemi, thank you, Ma. So, and let me tell you this. Cheating with is probably not as great as your spouse. The person is probably not even as beautiful as your spouse. But your sense of judgment will be clouded because you're already in too deep with your emotions. And so you're not able to see that I've got the best already. I don't need to go for somebody else. But because you already let your emotions stray away. All right, I'm sorry about that. That was a little technical issue. Sorry about that. So you can't if your emotions is already in deep, you can't, because your judgment will be clouded, and you won't be able to remember that my spouse is actually a better person than this. And if, considering the situation that you may be in your marriage, if you put that person in the similar boat with your spouse, the person will probably be of worse behavior. So you looking at somebody from afar off, and you're thinking this person is the best, the grass is greener on the other side. I'm telling you, it's a lie. It's a lie that you're being fed with, So it's not worth it. The dangers of emotional cheating, it's not worth it. It's deceitful, like I said. And in the process, there's a tendency to be treating your spouse bad. Because like I said, you cannot love two people the same way. So when you're feeling good, when you're getting in deep with one person, the reaction, the side effect, let me use the word side effect, will be you treating your spouse wrongly. You will be treating your spouse wrongly. You won't be nice to your spouse. Your spouse will be suffering for it. Your children will be suffering for it, because you're more dedicated to a different relationship. You're more dedicated to a different relationship. All right? So what's the solution? What do you think the solution is? How do you get out of an emotional affair, emotional cheating relationship? How do you get out of it? Do you have anybody? How do you get out? What would you suggest? That, okay, you know what? I'm in too deep. I've gone in so far, and I don't want to mess up my family. What do you do? I know it takes you a little bit to respond to me. I'm waiting. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate you. Thank you so very much. All right. All right, I'm not seeing any comments so far. All right, let me just keep going. All right. So what should you do? What should you do? As hard. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. As hard as it may be, you have to cut off ties with that person. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. You have to cut off by not responding to the person's calls, whatever chat, whatever DMs, all right, Mr. Isaiah said, pray and seek counsel. Pray and seek counsel. Definitely, professional counseling. Like with myself, like I said, I'm a professional marriage and family counselor. I've got more than 16 years of experience, and I've got masters in the field. So, well, coming from a counselor to you right now, you cut off the ties to the person. You disengage with this person. Okay, thank you, sir. Prayer and deliverance. Prayer and deliverance. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay. It's like I said, the feelings that you have for this person is more like an addiction. Because it's, like I said, it's an exaggerated and over-exaggerated. So there's this euphoria that comes with it. There's this thing that comes with it that makes you feel like, I can't do without this person. Like I said, when you're waking up in the morning, you look forward to this person contacting you. When you're going to sleep, you're thinking of that person. During the day, you're thinking of that person. So you are addicted. And to actually be able to cut that off, it's something, So, but with dedication, you have to be dedicated. That, you know what? I have to cut this off. I have to cut this off. And don't ever think, one of the lies that we tell ourselves is that I can always maintain a a platonic, a platonic, a platonic relationship, that it's not going to be more than this. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Evangelist Popola, I do appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. That I can always maintain a platonic relationship. It's not going to go deeper than this. You know, it's okay. I'm not going to cheat on my spouse. It's okay. We're only friends. We're only co-workers. But you always spending your lunch time together every day. You know, by the time you're coming in, you're so ready to pick him or her up on the way to work. You spend your time together all the time. You have to cut that ties out. Sincerely, you have to. That's the thing. And if you don't want to lose your marriage, if you don't want to lose your family over this, it is the time. That is enough reason. It's a sacrifice for your spouse, for your marriage. It's a sacrifice for your future. It's a sacrifice for your children's future. Because when a marriage is torn apart, the children's lives are affected. Their futures are affected. And when you think of this, is it worth it? Is it really worth it that for me to leave my wife, my husband, whereby there's no domestic violence involved? Like we're okay, except for the fact that I'm totally not committed emotionally. Like maybe things that you can actually solve, situations you can solve that can be worked on, you know? So why would you want to sacrifice that? And what makes you think this person would be a better spouse for you? What makes you think that you will not encounter, marriage is not easy. There's no perfect marriage. There's no marriage that is perfect out there. If anybody tells you that I have never had an argument with my spouse, I'm telling you it's a lie. It's a lie. There's no perfect marriage. But when you work at it, you keep working at it and you pray, in an emotional affair, maybe you're in too deep with somebody and you're thinking, do I need to confess to my spouse? Do I need to let my spouse know about this? It's up to you. It's your decision. Depending on your level of strength, depending on how close you are with your spouse, depending on your spouse's way of taking stuff. Sometimes it's too hard. When a spouse should find out that you cheated on them, it takes them to a level that cannot be described. It takes them to a level that cannot be described. So my own perspective is you have to think of your spouse, the way your spouse is. Can he or she handle this? And think of yourself. Would you like to, do you think you need that moral support from your spouse by confessing? If you think your spouse is actually involved in an emotional affair whereby your spouse is gone in too deep and you want your spouse to confess, really, don't force it. Don't force it. If it's not coming, don't. Just work on your marriage. Work on things getting better. Make time together. Spend time together. Do something fun. Even as everybody's inside the house right now, no movement outside, not going places, make fun for each other. Play games together. Put interest in what your spouse is interested in. We can learn. We can learn. When you put in that effort, you will see the result. When you put in that effort, you will see the result. Work on your marriage. The effort that you're dedicating to that relationship outside, put that effort into the committed relationship, into the marriage. Make conscious effort to replace the thought of that person with the thought of your spouse. Make a conscious effort. You are the owner of your mind. And pray. If you can't help it, if you keep thinking about this person, pray. There's nothing that prayer cannot do. Pray for your thoughts to be filled with the thought of your spouse instead. That you would rather think about your spouse instead. So spend more time with your spouse. Like I said, it's a sacrifice. Pray for your spouse. If it's your spouse that's already gone astray, pray for your spouse. It's not a time to be stubborn. It's not a time to be hard-headed. Don't try to prove right. Oh, why are you cheating on me? I can't believe you're cheating on me. I can't believe you're cheating on me. Remember, I got to tell you this. Anybody can fall. Anybody can fall. Even you yourself. Don't ever believe that you can't fall. Don't ever believe that you cannot fall for somebody. Don't believe, oh, I'm well grounded. Hey, these things can creep up on you. It can creep up on you. Mrs. Ademola said, outsmart the body. That is, you're looking. Outsmart the body. Mrs. Ademola, please explain that. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I see number 2 as surround yourself with good friends. Surround yourself with good friends. Very good. Very good. Occupy your time with spending. But because I would like for you to invest your time in your marriage more so it doesn't happen to you again. So even though surround yourself with good friends, but make sure you're still investing your time into your marriage. And then let yourself grieve the guilt. Allow yourself to actually grieve that guilt that you actually felt for somebody and it was wrong of you. Be able to let yourself grieve the guilt. All right. Do we have any contribution, any comments? Thank you so very much for being with me. I really do appreciate it. You don't know. Like, I'm grateful that you're watching. Thank you. I do appreciate you. So do we have any contribution, any comment? I'm actually thinking of another one next week. Another Facebook video, live video next week. And if you are interested, you can let me know. I'm thinking of sexual boredom in the bedroom. Sexual boredom in the bedroom. There's another one that I've been thinking of, and that is, you said, what, Miss Motunrayo Olagunji, she said, what if it's a relationship, ma? What if it's a relationship? It's all about you. Which one do you want to go for? If you are going to leave one relationship for the other, you have to make sure that the reason is not just of a physical, just an emotional. Like, you got to weigh the two. You got to weigh the two. If you've been in a long-term relationship, recently I came across somebody that's been in a relationship for 14 years and it wasn't even leading to marriage. So it's like, what's the reason that you could be involved emotionally with somebody else? If you haven't started your journey of marriage and you're already getting involved with somebody else emotionally, how grounded are you? Because marriage, like I said, it's not easy. You're going to get bored in the marriage. Trust me, it's going to happen. Unless you call yourself back. You got to be conscious about it, because situations will happen. Things will happen that will take you out of your marriage for a quick second, but you call yourself back. So if it's a relationship, think about it. Why did I choose this person in the first place? Why did I choose to be with this person in the first place? Now, why am I getting emotionally involved with somebody else? So now you think to yourself, okay, so which one do I want to go with? Because I tell you the truth, an emotional affair most likely end up sleeping with each other. They end up sleeping with each other. And the moment you sleep with each other, that's it. Hey, you're gone. Because that's the other thing that's connected. I was going to, finish the work. Thank you, Ms. Ajibola. You said we will look forward to it. Okay, so you said you're interested in my next topic. Okay, awesome. So by God's grace, we'll meet together again next week. Please keep safe. Keep safe, practice social distancing, hand sanitizer, hand washing for more than 20 seconds, at least 20 seconds, practice the social distancing, being away from people, use the face mask, the Lord be with us all. Thank you so very much for being here. Do I have any other question before we go? Any question, any contribution, anything that you would like to say? Or even maybe you have a particular topic that's been bothering you and you would like to talk about? Please do remember my social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. The page is right here, the page that you're on. It's Love Clinic NG. Love Clinic NG. Mr. Isaiah, thank you. I am interested too. God bless you. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. So, the topic next week, by God's grace, is sexual boredom in the bedroom. Sexual boredom in the bedroom. So next week, by God's grace. And also my phone number, +234 902 111 7273. +234 902 111 7273. And I'm also on WhatsApp on that number. I'm also on WhatsApp with that number. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Can I see your wave? Can I see your wave? I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Nice topic for next week, Miss Motunrayo. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Nice topic for next week. What do you know about that topic? I mean, come on now. All right. Everybody, I say thank you. Remember to share the video. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Bye. Let's finish this.
Have you finished?